Good afternoon, YouTube Pipers. Warwickshire Piper here. On a miserable, dreary, wet Saturday afternoon, well, early evening now. I'm sat in Coventry. I've been working across the Midlands today. I've got soaking wet 2 or 3 times. I've just finished my last job at Coventry Cathedral. So I thought that I would do my review on the run of Gawith and Hogarth's Bright CR Flake. I've been meaning to do this for months, certainly this week, but you know, things get in the way, work and personal commitments. And I'm smoking a bowl of it now in my Stanwell Golf Gold Band. A beautiful pipe, stunning grain. And smokes wonderfully. I don't normally bring my better briars out actually while I'm out and about, because I tend to be a bit clumsy and I drop things and I don't want to damage it or lose it, or so it's unusual for me to bring this out, but I did bring this out particularly because I did think I was going to be able to have time to do this review now. Okay, just a quick thought before I start talking about the tobacco. Has anybody got any thoughts on different tobacco blends that they like to smoke at different times of the year, or when the weather's particularly warm or cold? Or I must admit, personally, I tend to have more of a bend as the autumn and the winter sort of draws in, to get more stronger blends, more lap based, more Balkans, heavier, slightly heavier blends. I tend to smoke more the lighter Virginia's aromatics during the warmer months. I was just wondering whether anybody else felt the same way. Maybe you do things the other way around. Right, okay. Gawith and Hogarth Bright CR Flake. I've had this in a jar for probably 3 or 4 months, I suppose. So it's not sort of fresh as in packet fresh. It has got a little tiny bit of age about it, which I think this is about the 3rd or the 4th bowl I've had of this in sort of 2 or 3 days. I was sort of priming myself for the review just to get a feel for it. I must say the 3 or 4 months that it has had in the jar have done it wonders, to be quite honest. I mean, it's a beautiful blend anyway, but I think more so now. I feel more of it perhaps balanced a little bit more. There's one word that I keep thinking about with when I smoke this blend. One word, and that word is delicate. Everything about Bright CR Flake I've found to be delicate. All of the flavours in there, from the Brazilian, the Zimbabwean, and the Malawian flake, the Malawian leaf, I should say, are delicate. The Lakeland tint that I get from this is almost indiscernible, to be quite honest. It's hardly there, but it is, if that makes sense. Hardly there. But it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. I would say nicotine levels, nic hit, low to medium maybe. I rubbed this out this morning and put it in my backy flap to bring out today. So it's been sat in there all day. And when I opened the backy flap to fill the pipe, I took a smell, and it's like I said, it's just barely discernible. You know, not like some of the traditional Lakeland blends that are sort of smack in your face. You know, that traditional sort of Lakeland Tonkin type of smell and taste. I could smoke this all day without too much problem. It's that good. Flakes are very easy to rub out. They look good. A lovely mottled colour. Certainly not as fine as Jermaine's flake, like the RDF. That's very thin, or it's like wafer thin flake. Jermaine's. I always find that Samuel Gawith and Gawith and Hogarth flake tend to be a little bit more robust, but still rub out very easily. Absolutely no bite at all. Zero. Zilch. There's the tiniest hint of fruit in there. I honestly can't put my finger on a particular fruit. But if you had a mixed fruit bowl and you stood maybe 10 feet away from it, 6 feet away from it, or you walk past a fruit and veg shop and you smell, you know, the different fruits as you walk past, just a whiff of fruit, then that would be it. Perhaps not even that. It's just, like I say, it's delicate. Everything about it is delicate. It's not overcomplicated at all. You know, it's there's enough depth of flavour to keep you interested in it and keep wanting to smoke it, but it's not a complicated smoke. I when I'm smoking during the day, I don't like complicated smokes. I like an easy blend on the run. I do tend to smoke a lot of aromatics during the day when I'm at work, but I could quite easily smoke this in place of an arrow, and be extremely happy with it. I could certainly see myself buying more of this. Yeah, it's very good. While I think about it, I'd just like to thank everybody that's subbed me this week. And for everybody's comments. There is going to be quite a lot more to come. It's time with me. It really is, because I'm on the go. I work 6 days a week, sometimes 7, and I don't always get home till sort of 8, 9 o'clock in the evening. So by the time I've eaten and chilled out a little bit, it's not always I haven't always got the energy. It's an age thing. We're all getting old. We're all getting old, which is quite often why I do these. You know, I've done a couple of vids, you know, during the day while I'm working, if I'm between jobs, because I've got the energy there. Dominic, I know you like this pipe. This is just for you. How are you getting on with that, Mastro? Also, shout out to London Calling with Simon. I watched one of your older videos the other day about filters, smoke with filters or without filters. Now, I've always been, I always smoked a pipe without filters until fairly recently, and I would say probably 40% of my collection can take a filter. The rest don't. I'm not about to convert those to 9mm. Obviously, there's an awful lot that wouldn't be able to be converting anyway. But what I have done, and I must admit, I'm liking it. I have started to use filters a lot more just recently in my pipes that can take it. If they can take it, I'll put a filter in, and it's surprising actually how much difference and how much more enjoyment that I've got. While using them, the flavour still, I don't think it does anything to the flavour. The flavour is still there. It just makes it, just cools everything down, smooths things out, refines everything, if you like. The reason I didn't use filters, I tended not to use them, because I thought that it would affect the draw capacity, but I don't think it does really. And I'll certainly use filters a lot more. In fact, I've just ordered some more. What are everybody else's thoughts on filters, guys? Yes or no? I don't know much. I know some people use the gauze. The gauze filters in the bottom of the bowl. I've not had any experience with those. I know there's various options. Very nice retro hail as well. Very nice retro hail. Very delicate. It's quite sugary actually. Quite sweet. That's just coming through. Still got a little peppery, very, very gentle peppery taste to it. I've just seen a traffic warden prowling about my car, and my ticket expired about 45 minutes ago. So and he's already given me a funny look, if he appears again, I might have to end this video. We don't want any more situations or scenes. I've had fire alarms, I've had random YouTube clips starting. I don't want any arguments with traffic wardens as well. There's always something. Adventures in Mullisland. I'll tell you something else that's just occurred to me. It's just sort of entered my head. If you've got a border in the garden and you get a fork to it, and it's a border that hasn't been dug for a while, and you stick your fork in and you turn over a sod of soil, you get a smell. You get that sort of freshly turned soil smell. There's a little bit of that. Little tiny bit earthy. Again, delicate. Every single thing about this blend is delicate. It doesn't smack you, nothing smacks you in the face as saying, wow, that overpowers that, or that overpowers that. Everything is on a level, but delicate. Everything blends beautifully, you know, as an overall delicate experience, smoking experience. And if you haven't tried Gawith and Hogarth Bright CR, I know there's a lot of my UK PTC friends. I know you have, and I know you enjoy it. Then get some. Get it ordered. Top job. Quick shout out to Smoking Chunker 57. Love your new Mia. Lovely pipe. Quick shout out to the bearded Welshman. And quite possibly my favourite Welshman YouTube pipe community, Gary Dobbs. Great guy, very humorous, very knowledgeable. His clips are great, very informative. I'm calling him the Clan Man. Gary loves his clan. He seems to think that the recipe to clan has changed recently and it's more palatable. He also did a review recently on Mr. Brog pipes. I'm sure most of you have heard of Mr. Brog. They tend to be down the lower end of the market, but not necessarily in quality. Yes, they're cheaper, but there's a place in the market for them. I believe that. I've actually got a Mr. Brog pipe, one of the first pipes that I purchased about 8 months ago when I first started smoking pipes seriously again. It's a Mr. Brog Calabash. Nice pipe, pear wood. Does what it says on the tin. It's okay. Give them a go. They've got a hell of a range. You can find them on eBay or Google Mr. Brog pipes. I think this is going to need a relight, guys, but we're about finished anyway. It's the first relight since I started smoking it, and I'm about halfway down the bowl. Okay, guys. So that's it. Had some really nice yabos this week. I can introduce you to some new family members. A lovely Bjarn Bulldog, possibly one of the biggest Bulldog pipes I've ever seen. Absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous pipe. In fact, when I opened the box, I was absolutely gobsmacked because I didn't realise it was going to be quite as big as it was. But I'll show you that in the next clip. Okay, guys, whatever you're doing tonight, have a fantastic evening. Try and stay dry. I think the weather's going to deteriorate even more this evening and tomorrow. So stay safe. Stay smoky. I hope you've enjoyed this. Take care, guys. I'll be back.